Today I'm going to show you how to do the project Sew Through button. In your package and on Google Classroom you should have a Sew Through button form that gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do it, as well as you should have a baggie. The contents of that bag should have a small spool of thread in it. You should have a blue piece of fabric, and there's a needle in your fabric. And then you should have an envelope, and inside that envelope there are two small red buttons similar to this. Okay, you're going to have a button that has 4 holes in it like this one, and then you're also going to have one that has 2 holes, and we call these buttons sew through buttons. Okay, to complete the assignment you need to get your needle and your thread, cut a piece of thread, and I've already put the thread through the eye of the needle. It's a little blurry. The eye is at the top of the needle, or the hole, okay? And then I'm going to take the ends of the thread and I'm going to make them as close together as I can. I'm going to tie a knot. To tie a knot, I take it and I wrap it around my finger, okay, and I make kind of a loop. Then I take the tail of that thread, put it through the center of the loop, and pull it tight, okay? So there's my knot. Okay, we always work from the back side of the fabric or the underneath side. So here's my piece of blue fabric, and I'm going to position the button. There's not a right or wrong place, so just wherever you want to put it. Then I'm going to start, and on your instruction sheet it refers to them as A and B. So I'm going to take the needle, I'm going to poke it up through A. Okay, so I've came through the first hole. I'm going to pull it until my knot tells the thread to stop. Okay, and it stops. I've got some on both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go down through B. Okay, and I'm going to pull it tight against the button. Okay, I'm going to do that 4 times. Okay, your instructions say 4 times. In the illustrations on the picture, it shows them going A and B across and then C and D across too. If you want to make an X, that's acceptable. What I'm looking for is that you do it 4 times, and I'm checking your neatness. You should try very hard to come up and go down through in the same spot each time so that you don't have a lot of thread and knots and things collected on the back of it. Okay, let's look at step 3. When we get to step 3, it's showing us how to make a shank. If you want to go ahead and do that, that's fine, but I'm going to show you another way to tie it off. So let's assume that I had already gone through the hole 4 times, okay, and my button was finished and I was ready to quit. We always stop on the back side, so my thread is on the underneath side or the back side. Okay, then we can tie. We need to tie a knot to secure it. Okay, I'll show you a secret on how I cheat. I use my needle to cheat. So I'm going to put the fabric, let's see if you can see, I've got it so that I'm going to make another loop, and I'm going to put the hole through the needle through this hole or the loop, circle, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to start pulling it. Well, my goal is to get that knot as close to the fabric as I can get it. So this is how I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take the end of my needle and I'm going to hold it in the center of that circle, but I'm going to hold it so that I'm touching the fabric, and I'm going to pull up on that circle until it gets tight and makes a knot. Then I'm going to kind of pull it out. Okay. And as hopefully you can see, the knot is really, really close to the fabric. Okay. So if you want to do that, stop there and then take your scissors and cut the thread on the other side of the knot. That would be appropriate. So it would be necessary to do that when you finish each row. So you're going to do it 3 times because you have 2 rows on one button and 1 row on the other one. So if you have any questions or you couldn't see some of my illustrations good enough, shoot me an email and I'll see if I can walk you through it. So happy sewing.